I can already see the comment section. Lego's doing it again, man. He just goes over onto Reddit, steals whatever is on there, and makes free content out of it. And yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing because it's available on the internet. It's public, and everybody who wants to go out there and read it can read it. And plus, it's a pretty good representation of how fans in the community feel. So I wanted to respond to that. And in order to help our cause, we're going over onto this post made by BFAHM7. I read it out like that because I have no idea how to pronounce this name, but the post title from last night says that Jacob Trouba needs to go. Now, before we dive into all of this, let's go out there and just, give a bit of a tease first, That's what it's called. It's a tease in the business, kids. Jacob Trouba is our topic of discussion because coming off of a playoff series where the New York Rangers ended up losing in 6 games to the Florida Panthers, this is the 4th straight year that a Florida team has beaten a New York team in the Eastern Conference Finals, something crazy like that. It's wild, dude. These Florida and New York teams always making the 3rd round. But Trouba is one of the latest scapegoats in this New York loss. 30 years old, 6'3", 203, excuse me, I'm kind of blind. Right-handed guy, big dude, signed to the end of 2026, making $8 million a year as the captain of the New York Rangers. Initially a 9th overall pick by the Jets in 2012, we recognize the value that Jacob Trouba brings. At his best, he's a physical, shot-blocking machine who can contribute offensively once in a while. I mean, he had 22 points in 69 games played this season. It's not amazing. It's not the 50-point season he had with Winnipeg back in 2018-19. But for the most part, I'd say that a lot of Rangers fans were kind of okay with Jacob Trouba as the captain of the team. They understood his leadership. There were some games throughout the 23-24 season where he would absolutely go off. He would have 5 blocks in a game and have all this ice time, and he'd be a menace defensively, and a lot of Rangers fans came to adore Trouba for those qualities. But in the playoffs, Trouba had only 7 points in 16 games played, which admittedly is not bad. But when you actually watch the games and you see how Trouba had progressed defensively, it's almost like he regressed. He took a few steps backwards. He stopped being effective defensively, and he quite frequently made bad decisions that led to huge opportunities for the opposite team. And, of course, the one that everybody is pointing to right away is the Sam Bennett 1-0 goal in yesterday's game, where Jacob Trouba tries to go in for whatever it was he was trying to go for. It wasn't really a hit. He tried to sweep at the puck as the Panthers entered the zone, but he completely missed, took himself out of the play, and then Bennett went over to Rodriguez, back to Bennett, one-timer shot, it's in. Igor, sorry, you can't do anything about that one. That's just a perfectly placed shot off of a perfectly ran play. And it was kind of perfect because Trouba pulled himself out of the play and out of position. Let's go out there and read this post made on the New York Rangers subreddit. As you can see, it's got 465 upvotes, and 90% of New York Rangers fans here have upvoted this. They agree with this sentiment. Jacob Trouba, the captain of the team, needs to go. That's it. That's the post. The dude is washed and was a massive liability to the point that he single-handedly had a huge role in why the Rangers lost this series. This isn't a scapegoat post. There were a ton of other reasons why we lost, like Zibanejad no showing, but those can be addressed in other posts. I don't care how quickly this is going up after the loss. Next year is the last year we've got with the current core before huge decisions need to be made. We have $10 million to re-sign Capo, Lindgren, and Schneider, as well as address on-ice issues like center depth and right wing. The year after, Shesterkin and Lafferty, my goodness, Lafreniere raises come due. The cap rising a little won't be enough to foot that bill. Even if we have to buy him out, the $4 million save could seriously help. Jacob Trouba needs to go full stop. And I wanted to go out there and explore this conversation You can see it in the title, it's in the thumbnail. Let's go out there to Jacob Trouba's cap-friendly page and talk about the idea of a buyout, because now that it was brought up by New York Rangers fans and they seem to be on board with it, I wanted to take a look at how this would form. Okay, this is really wide. Let's try to scrunch that up a little bit. Yeah, how does that look? Okay, that's a little better. And then if we stretch it out just a tad more, okay, that's great. So Trouba right now has $12 million left on his salary. He's got 2 years left, as we had said, $8 million per season, and the contract goes on till 2026. Not every year he's making $8 million, it's just the AAV. So if you buy out Jacob Trouba, the salary remaining, $12 million, becomes, what is that? The $8 million that you would get if you two-thirds that. Two-thirds? Yeah, no, that's the verb, eh? That's a really weird one. But either way, if you buy out Jacob Trouba, the New York Rangers save $4 million for the next 2 seasons, and then they have a cap of $2 million in 2026-27 and 2027-28. Because of the way the New York Rangers salary cap is structured, because of the guys they have that are going to expire, you could very well say that $4 million of savings over the next 2 seasons is going to be pretty significant. And the hit of $2 million in 2 years is actually not as bad, if you wanted to say that. Sure, if you wanted to let this go until the end of 25-26 at $8 million, that's fine. You could just keep Trouba, but if you wanted to really explore your options into getting extra money to address other parts of the roster, the center depth, the right wing, then this could be an interesting thing to think about, because $4 million is a lot of money. That's like a good player if you play your cards right. $2 million could be seen as just an extra buyout penalty that doesn't really have too much of an impact when the cap is up at $90-something million. But, of course, that just depends on where the cap goes. Let's go back over onto Reddit and read some of these extra thoughts by New York Rangers fans that are responding to this. If anyone on the team deserves the captaincy after this playoff run, it's Vincent Trocheck. If Kreider doesn't want the C, it's Vinny. Scroll down here. Hold up. Jacob Trouba is about to hit someone. Oh, he missed. Oh, they scored against him. Oh, he misses. Oh, it's an elbow to the head. Oh, now other fan bases think we are the dirty rats of the league. Sick. Half the reason I want Jacob Trouba gone is because he single-handedly gives this team a reputation for being dirty. Perhaps that's because he single-handedly injured a key player per series. Then he was given the captaincy. Yeah, Trouba's a pretty big physical force there, isn't it? 22 penalty minutes this playoffs from our captain over a period's worth of penalties. Get him the hell out of here. Most of them aren't even for, like, stopping a breakaway either. He's not a leader. He's a liability. If he played on the edge, but was effective, made smart defensive decisions, got up and out of the D-zone, strong passes, killed penalties, then keep him. But he literally made the team worse when he was on the ice. He either needs to entirely change his game next season or go. Hard to kill penalties when you're the one taking them. If Niels Lundqvist... Oh, not Niels Lundqvist, excuse me. Henrik Lundqvist could be bought out. So could he. Yeah, no, Niels Lundqvist is on the Stars. My bad. 2 different situations. Henrik had 1 year left and Igor was there. I don't know why I'm being downvoted when it's simply facts. Henrik had a much shorter buyout and for less money. Takes way too many penalties and has a bad habit of taking himself out of the play trying to make a hit and compromising the team defensive structure. Tough to stomach those things out when you're trying to win the Stanley Cup. And you know this is going to be the kicker here, the final comment of this video from Juzillion. You know this isn't just reactionary because we just got eliminated. People have been saying he's been dog crap for a long time. It's crazy. Remembering the Hank-era Rangers, it always felt like there was one defenseman that consistently dragged a whole team down. Remember Del's Aster? But for that person to be your captain, it creates some funky energy in the room. He has to go. So Rangers fans are piling on the Jacob Trouba needs to go train, and they're even talking about the idea of buying him out. I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about a Trouba buyout and whether or not this actually is something you think about. Again, I get it, it's an emotional time. It wasn't even more than 24 hours ago that the Rangers got eliminated, so fans could still be on edge. That's totally okay, but I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Either way, what are your opinions about Jacob Trouba, his performance in the series, and whether or not he should be the next one to go? I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.